and I will show you the normal rectangle that I taught you, and how you can actually create another rectangle inside a rectangle. You know, like I explained earlier in the previous rectangle strategy, the stop loss are very wide, and you need to be very patient to wait when this happen and when that happen. But when I saw this secret on Friday and I decided to test it, for those who saw my result, I posted it in the group, because I placed my stop loss, my take profit, I think 18, 20, 27 or 20, I can't remember. I did it there because of the inner rectangle I saw, and that determined to take profit on that pivot level, So I want you to pay really good attention. For those who are new, you don't know anything about rectangle strategy, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can watch the previous lessons. But I'm going to start from beginning, and I will show you how you can determine a rectangle inside a rectangle. Even here like this, I have seen 3 rectangles inside 1 rectangle. So for those who want to scalp, for those who want to use intraday, for those who want to do positioning trading, you can as well take advantage of this class I'm going to teach. I'm going to use gold to test this, to show you. Then I give the audience and I give the class to Konzi to take over. Now, for those, I want this class to be interactive. So please, if you remember the first step to determine your rectangle strategy, type it on the chat box. What are the first thing that you're going to determine when you want to draw your rectangle strategy? Let me know that you people are actually following. So type on the chat box the first step you're going to take if you want to draw your rectangle. Please, I want the class to, I'm sure everyone can hear me, so please type on the chat the first step. Beautiful, beautiful. Just 2 people are responding. How many people do I have in class? 25. 3, okay. The Bible says out of 2 or 3 weaknesses. Good. Okay. All right. Good. Beautiful. I've identified. Yes, it must be on H4 time frame. Yes, Chidera. Good. The most recent trend. Beautiful. Now, for this, the new secret I saw, looking at this, I've seen 3 visible trend, and I'm going to draw the 3 visible trend for you to see. The first one is this trend from here to here. You can see it from this place, this point here. So this, let me circle it with my draw diagram. From this point here to this point here. That is the first trend that I noticed. Okay. This bullish trend up here to here, that one is very noticeable. Then, why is this showing me? Oh, sorry. Then the next trend I picked is from this top here down to this place. This circle can take for this 2, and let me draw this circle for this other one. And another trend that I saw is from here up to this place. I will delete this, and I just wanted to see what I found out about the secrets. This is going to give you so many lines on your chart, but don't worry, it's going to help you to take your profits. You could to do take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3, and anyhow you want it. It's easy. Instead of you to have that long take profits, you know, your normal rectangle strategy, the take profit are actually very big. But if you are the one that you're an intraday trader, you just want to go for 50 pips, 100 pips, and all that. You know, this is gold. Gold, 1 candle in gold can give you 100 pips. So if you want to go for short pips, if you identify this trend and draw your rectangle and give them different colors, you can know how to take it from one place to another. So now I've shown you what I did and how I identify the trend on this H4 chart. Now let me delete this and I'll do the main thing. The first trend, the first rectangle is this first trend from here to here. I'll pick my rectangular box. and I draw from the tip here up to this place. And the second step is what? Identify your floor and your ceiling by using the horizontal line to determine that. Beautiful. Now we've identified our support and our resistance level, okay? So these are our first pivot level. So what next are we going to do? You pick your trend line and you draw from this one side of the rectangular box to the other side, so we can identify our pivot levels within the pivot level that are inside the box. So we've identified this first one here. The intersection between the two trend line is what? The middle pivot level. Now, if you can see that we have the box has been divided into two, the rectangular box has been divided into two, the first part above and the second part above. Now, you cannot just take your trade like this. In order for you to identify other pivot level inside the first box at the top and the second box, you have to do the same thing that you did on the whole rectangle. So you pick your trend line this time and you draw from here to the half. Like this, beautiful. And you pick your trend line again. I can't hear my audio. Femi, please, can you help me paste that stuff? How people can connect. Click on the mic sign on the left side on your device so you can hear me properly. Okay? Someone said they can't hear me. So you can see how I identified this. Adeola said she can't or he can't hear me. I'm sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. Please, if you can hear me, can you type 3 on the chat box? I want to know if it's from my side. 3 on the chat box. Okay, beautiful. So please, I think you should check your audio, Adeola. Everyone can hear me loud and clear. Thank you, thank you. Give me 1 minute so I can post this on the chat box for others to hear. Just give me 1 minute. Click on the speaker sign. Adeola, I think you can just do okay, beautiful. Femi, thank you very much. Thank you, Femi. So just follow the step and you will hear me loud and clear. All right, so we did the same thing for the half, and I'm going to pick my horizontal line at the middle, the intersection between the two rectangles, that is another pivot level. And the same thing, the intersection between these two levels here, you can see that is another what? Pivot level. Or pivot level, whatever it's called. I'm not an English teacher, I'm a Forex trader. That's for the lab. So we're going to do this for the other half. I'm just doing a recap for those who were not there when I was teaching the rectangle strategy. Okay, now the same thing here, intersection between this and this, and intersection between this. Now we've identified this for the bigger box. Now I want to show you for the smaller rectangle inside this big rectangle. You pick your horizontal line and identify this one down to this. Now I want you to change the color of this so you won't have to change the color of let's change it to, no, purple is too light. Let's change it to, what should we use? Blue. Uh, okay, let's change it to this color. Let's pick something. I need something thicker. Okay, let's change it to red. Now we've identified this trend from here to here. So you pick your rectangular box and you draw from here. You can pick it anyhow you want to pick it to this place. You already have your what's it called? Your resistance line here, the pivot level here. So you don't need that to draw any line there. All you need to do is pick another rectangle, another trend line to identify why I want you to change the color so it will be easy for you to know the new rectangle. Okay, so you make mistake. When I found this out, I was marveled. I was like, wow. So now in between this intersection, you put your what? Now change the color of this to, let me change the color to purple. Beautiful. Now I want you to be very mindful of this. Now you can see change the color to purple. If you look closely, you see that price. You can see where price is even respecting it here. So those times when you want to trade using this larger rectangle, you'll be imagining, why will price come to this level and just stop and go back? Why will it come to this level and stop and go back? You know, for instance, we took this trade from here, expecting this pair to come down to this pivot level here. This is black one, but it didn't. It came here and it turned back. So what I noticed on Friday was that there's actually another rectangle inside this rectangle. So you identify that same trend and draw it. Now, if you can see this new pivot level that we found out here, you can see that price was expecting it here, price was expecting it here, and all those places, okay? So you pick your trend line again, and you draw from here to the end of this place. Remember, you change the color so you don't have to mistake it. You have to change the color so you don't have to. And you do the same thing. You pick your trend line and you draw from here down to this place. That's the intersection between the purple line. Don't make mistake. Always change the color so it won't be too. Now you see, this is another level. You can see that price respected it here, price respected it here, and also here. So these are the things. By the time I expand the charts, you appreciate it better. Okay, now that is it. Is in between it. So let's do the same here. You know, like I told you, you can actually make another strategy out of this rectangular strategy. Look for something that you can do, track it to the way you understand it, and make perfect use of it. You can even see that the intersection between this purple and black. Have you seen? Can everybody see what I'm showing you here? If you can see what I'm showing you, type 4 on the chat box. This is an intersection for the previous, this bigger one. You can see here that it is for this inner one. You can see it very clearly, right? So you don't need to draw your pivot. You just leave it that way and you move this one to where it's supposed to be. Let me see that people are following. 4, good. That means you guys are paying attention. So you can see that it's easy to identify your levels and you can take your profit when each level is what is respected. Now let me expand this chart so you can see it loud and clear. Have you seen what I'm actually telling you? So what made me to take my decision on Friday was this. I'm still going to draw this other one. You will see it. Let me draw the third one so it will be easy. But on Friday, I did not, I didn't draw this one I'm showing you. I just saw this one today. On Friday, I drew from here to here. Let me just draw everything so it will be better for you. It will look too, oh, this thing is very, very, everywhere is full of lines and blah, 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 but it's going to help you determine what you're doing. It will help you do that. Pick your rectangular box. So this one acts as a what? As a resistance level. So you don't need to do that. You don't need to draw another rectangular level. Remember, look at the this support level here. You have to put your what? Your thread line below. That is another line. Don't forget it. What color am I going to use for this? I'm running out of color. Let me use blue. Okay. Okay, red. Okay, blue, red, blue. Beautiful. Let me use blue there, since they're far from each other. And you know, you can draw this line and leave it. You don't need to repeat it over and over again, except you see a glaring trend. So with this line, you can see the future to tell you what's going to happen in the market. So you pick this and you put it in between this intersection. I'm going to change this color. Let me change the color to, I don't want to use black. Let me change the color to yellow. Yellow is faint. Just give me a sec. I don't want it to be clustered everywhere. No. There are no bright colors here anymore. Okay, let me use green. Even though green is not. But let's just work with that. Drawing it is the main thing. But by the time you're done drawing it, you don't need to draw it anymore. Now, if you take a look at this one, the black for the height, for the biggest rectangle is actually here. And for the smaller rectangle is on this one too. So you don't need to draw any other pivot level. All you need to do is pick your thread line and draw what? From here to here. On the green line. I'm sure everyone is still following what I'm doing. Don't get confused with all the line. Don't worry. Okay, sorry. That was my TP. There, this was my TP. I took the trade. I'm going to expand it so you look at it. Because I did the big one and the small. I didn't do this middle rectangle. I did this big one and this little rectangle here. So that was what gave me my entry and exit. So now let me expand this so you can see what happened on Friday. As soon as price broke this, I took what? The sell, and my TP was here. On this place, as soon as this price broke this, I saw this sell, and they are still under this pivot level. I was like, okay, I think this thing is going to break. Since this is what a consolidation has been happening since, and this happened, it broke below this, and I took my sell, and this was my TP 1827. So immediately it got to my TP 8237, it went back and closed above it. I sent the charts. The one I just deleted was exactly this box. As soon as price hit my TP, it closed above what? This green level, the green pivot level. So what I'm expecting market to do tomorrow is those gap. I normally tell you that, oh, market is going to gap to this level and come back because of the market, the break. So what I'm expecting, if the market is going to happen tomorrow, if there's going to be a gap tomorrow, the gap is not going to be above 1839. It's going to be between here and here to retest this place and start dropping back, because the market still looks like it's going to sell, though it's sitting on this support that we cannot see. But if it's going to respect this support, it's going to bounce off here. So if it breaks this black pivot level, your TP should be here and here. If it breaks this, please stop typing on my what's it called? Thank you. Please don't type on it, please. So if market bounces off this, if it closes below 1839, which is here, it's still giving us a sell signal. But if it closes above, what will happen? We buy to the next pivot level. I'm sure if you understand what I just did by identifying all my trend line and drawing the boxes, can you type 7 on the chart? We've not used 7 yet. Type 7 on the chart. Let me know that people are following me. Beautiful. Good. If you don't understand what I did, just write, I don't understand. If you don't understand, say, I don't understand. So you can see how it's easy for you to do what? It's for you not to stay long in the trade. If you're an intraday trader, you can go for 50 pips. Like if I calculate what I did from here to here, I did 120 pips. You see? That's about 100 and this. I did 120 pips or thereabouts from this little 120 pips. Yeah, somewhere around here. So instead of me waiting to go to the next, remember, if we're using just the larger box, my other TP will be somewhere around here. So instead of me to wait and wait and wait for my TP to come to the black line, which is our previous rectangle, I will just be picking my TP on every pivot level. If it breaks above, I'll be expecting a buy. If it breaks below, so my stop loss, my take profit, my stop loss now will be very, very what? Tighter, unlike before. Now remember our stop loss for our previous one. Now, if we're taking a sell on this, market has closed here. You know, the normal entry and exit for the larger rectangle, you wait for this candle to break, which it breaks below it, wait for the next candle to break, then you do what? You take your profit. So if this next candle breaks, for instance, and you decide to take a sell here to this place, remember this is gold, you will still make little profit, even if it's 10 pips. Let's calculate it. 10 or 20 pips. Okay, this is like 50 pips on this exact, okay, 40 something pips, which is very okay for me. But if you choose not to take it on this line, decide to take it on this line, before it comes there, you always secure your profit. Remember what I told you, if you are in profit of 40 to 50 pips, secure your profit, move your stop loss toward take profit. So let's assuming that you enter this trade at the close of this candle, you decide to sell this thing to the next pivot level, you are still going to make money in the forex market and you leave. Now your entry and exit is a bit closer, is no more wider for you to wait a longer period of time before you can take your profit and exit the market. So my take home for gold as a market open today is this: to continue downwards like this, or it goes up a bit and do what? Come back down. But if this candle that breaks on this pivot level decide to break here, I will wait for a breakout like this, then I buy. But from the look of things, this is a stick, this is a flag, this is a breakout from it. So we're expecting more drop to the what? To the downside. So that's what my analysis on gold and how it works. You can choose not to use this middle box because this middle box has happened. It depends on what you want to do. If you don't want too many lines on your screen, you can just choose to pick 2 or 3. What I used on Friday was this larger one and this smaller one here. So you can choose to either take this one in the middle or this one here, because this one here has already happened. So you take this one here or you take the larger one here and this little one here to determine what's going to happen in the future. Now, remember that all this line that we drew here, I don't need to draw any other line again. It will serve me for the purpose of the future, what's going to happen in the future. All this line I just drew here, it will tell me I don't need to be drawing anything until price breaks above all the rectangle. Then I have to draw another rectangle or copy one rectangular box and place on the other, just like what I taught you. I hope this is very clear on how to draw. I don't need to be drawing more rectangle. All I need to do is wait for break, close below and sell, break the pivot level, close above and buy. Our stop loss is below or above the candle that breaks the pivot level. So for instance, I want to sell this pair. My stop loss is going to be here on this candle here. This candle here, that's where my stop loss is going to be. Okay, this candle here. If I want to buy this pair, for instance, I want to buy this pair. Let's say this closed below and I decided to buy this pair. My stop loss will be what? Below this candle that did what? Broke the pivot level. So you won't have a very, one thing about Forex trading, you have to calculate your risks first before the profit. Know how much you are willing to lose before you can make money in the Forex market. Like on Friday, my stop loss was 20 pips as against 120 pips. So you can see the margin that even if I lose, I did 2 entries. One was 100 pips and the other one was 120 pips. Or more, I think it was even more than that. Let me check. I think it was about 220, not 120. Let me check it. Just give me a minute. Yeah, it was more than that. Yes, 220 pips. Sorry. It was 220 pips. Because I entered from 1853 and I left 1828. So it was more than 200 pips on gold with just a stop loss of what? 20 pips. This helped me to minimize the losses that I'm going to have as against the previous one that I did. I'm sure I have done justice to this rectangle in a rectangle. I don't want to take much time because Konzi is going to be our teacher today. Please, ma, on that trade on Friday, did you put your stop loss above the candle that broke the pivot? Yes. My stop loss was above the candle that broke it. I entered at 1853. Let me look for 1853. 1 minute. 1853 was somewhere here, somewhere around here. Around here. 1853. As soon as this green candle, I think, okay, sorry, it was on this green candle. When it closed below this pivot level, I entered the sell and I took it out here. I did 100 pips, my first TP, and the second TP was this TP here, 1828. 1828, that was my second TP. So price took out everything. So what I'm expecting here too is just like I said, more drop coming down on what? Gold. So my TP was exactly here, above this green candle here. Above this green candle, that was where my TP is. So I entered the sell and it dropped and I did what? Took my profit out. So that's how it is trading in the forex market. You don't need to lose so much to gain. Let the one that what you want to risk should always be lower than how much you want to gain. So in case it goes against you, what will happen? You won't lose anything. You're not losing all your capital. I'm sure that is understandable. So Femi, please, can you make Konzi host? I need to stop sharing. Konzi, are you still on the call? Are you still on the call? If you're on the call, please can you type, make us let us know that you're still here. Okay, good. Kingsley, hope I answered your question. Kingsley, can you hope I answered your question? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. So Mr. Adisa, take over from here. Femi, please, can you make him host so he can share his screen? And
Hello, hello. Good evening. I hope everyone can hear me.
yes, loud and clear we can.
Okay. Firstly, before I go right away to what I had in plan for us today, I would like to appreciate Mama for the journey so far. How she has actually um, taken us as our forex children and for all the motherly care she has given us uh, so far. So I don't know if I can implore you guys, my fellow MTI guys, to type love on the chat so that we can show Mama love because honestly, she has really given us all of her. She's always there for us. So uh, please let's all type love to just show her love because honestly, she won't deserve more than that. But at least let's just do that before I go into the training today. Good. All right. So thanks, guys. So thank you for showing our beloved Mama love. So uh, Mama has taken. Mama has actually done. Let me say 50% of what I had in plan. Like, I mean, I was actually came to bring my own suggestion of some other stuff I've discovered from the rectangular strategy because I remember Mama is always saying that we should try our hands on the strategy. So I tried my hands on something, and I had plans to share with everyone, but I noticed that this one that Mama gave us is 100% better than mine. So immediately I just threw it in the trash in my heart. That
Don't
oh,
try to show us.
okay, ma, no problem. So let me share my screen now. Okay, I can't like the thing is giving me feedback. Host disabled
Okay,
participant.
Femi needs to make you host. Femi, make him host so he can share his screen, please.
Okay.
Ogun Joby, he has not started sharing his screen. He's going to do
Um,
that shortly.
I'm going to make you host. As soon as you share your screen, you'll have to
Don't
make me
worry,
host.
Femi. As soon as he share his screen, I'll claim it back. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, Adisa, you are now the host. You can share your screen.
All right. Thank you. Yes. So basically, I had two plans. Like what I actually brought to the table today was to talk more on confirmations before entering trade because I feel it's something that's very, very important in anybody's trading journey. So I had the plan of bringing two things to the table to show you guys what I discovered about the rectangular strategy, coming up with other pivot lines so that we the scalpers, because basically me, I love scalping because I think I don't have chill like that. I'm someone that doesn't have chill to be waiting. So that was what prompted me to. So like Mama have said, I'll probably still have to go. I'll go over it. So I'll show you guys what I've discovered, what I discovered. I mean, so let me start with confirmations. Let me start there because it's very very important. Because I've noticed that when you have a lot of confirmation, it gives you confidence to enter a trade with full confidence that you not be scared um, of anything. Because I noticed that fear also really do affect um, people in this trading journey. Because when you are scared, you can even you enter a trade, but you are scared. The trade is supposed to go more than what what you had in mind, but because of fear, you closed it on time. But whereas when you have a very, very strong confirmation, you wait till you get all your pips. You wait till you get everything. So one of the confirmation I used to use that I really, really love is moving average. That is exponential moving average. But it's always quite difficult drawing more than um, three exponential moving average on your chart. So, and me, I like I do make use of five exponential moving average. So I had to search for a way to bypass that restriction by trading view, because if you actually want to use more than three moving average, you have to pay make some subscription. So I used my previous knowledge of um coding. So it's basically more of coding, but the code is very simple, very simple. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that now, because I noticed I was unable to join the meeting on EMA that Mama taught us. Like she took us a training on EMA. I was unable to join because I did not have data that day like that. So but I later saw that there was a little bit difficulty of adding um, more than three EMAs, and I was really, really feeling bad because I know I could have actually solved that problem if I was on the live. So I'm going to start with that. So let me remove mine now so that I don't know if you're on system, you can actually follow me so that you can follow along. Um, so basically, this is how I do add it. I come to find editor here. So I click. Oh, I think there's the ad there. Let me refresh. The ad blocking. All right. So yes. So this is the Pine editor. Please just open your mind. Coding is not hard, and besides, this thing is very easy. Just open your mind. So um, the first thing I'll do is I'll remove this my scripts. Oh, sorry. I'll remove that because that one is in default. So that is what you basically meet there over time. So you remove that one, then you type what you need. That is EMA clients demo. Hope you guys are following. Uh, okay. So
Yeah.
okay, overlay equals to true. Then we don't really need this too, so I'll just take it off. So it's not necessary you put a space here, but just to um make your code clean so that you can easily spot any mistake. So it's always advisable to put a gap. So a space. So the next thing you type is EMA. Like now I'm using EMA means exponential moving average. So me, I like using 5. So I'm going to put EMA 5 uh, with a space equals to EMA and lows, lows 5. Okay, sorry. I don't think there will be a space, sorry. So I'm going to just copy this. I'll copy it 4 more times because I use 5 EMAs. I'm still going to change the values, but yeah, so okay, let me leave this one. Then I use 13. I'm going to change this to 13. 13. This to 50. I use 50. I use 200. And 800. Then uh, I'm going to put another new code that is plot AMA 5. So this is the last code I'm going to be putting. So it's not really that difficult. I'll copy it, then I'll duplicate it um, 5 times. And I change this to 13, just like I have it up there. The one I typed before, this one, 200, um, 800. Okay, so that's all. Then the next I'm going to do, I'm going to click this add. Sorry, let me take this. Oh, okay, okay. So now I'll just click add to chat. Yes, so as you can see now, the EMAs they're already on my chat already. So I can actually, what you just need to do, just close this Pine editor by clicking back the Pine editor. This Pine editor, you click it. So that is that. But now you have the opportunity to change the color. So easily I can just come over here, go to settings, and then I can easily change the color to what I want. So I like I like using yellow for the EMA5. And okay, I think I like using orange. Okay, orange. Then this one red is uh, blue is white. So and this dark blue, that's the 800. Yeah, I mean, okay. I also like increasing the thickness so that it will be more visible for me to see, even when I'm zoomed out. Chat. So let's change. I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not going too fast.
No, it's okay.
Okay. So I've successfully added more than 3 AMA without having to pay a dime. But I'm going to screenshot the code so that people that don't get it on in our group, I'll post it in our group so that they don't get it. now. You can actually see those code and try to just replicate it or copy and paste itself. So it's not really a big deal. You can
No,
just
just
save
screenshot it and
then
send it
copy
to
and
the group.
paste it in. All right, no problem, ma'am. So I'll do that to add that. Then so let me go to um the yeah I actually called that is USD on Friday and explain how I should confirm my entries before my my internet is quite slow. I don't know what's wrong. Okay. Hello, I still don't call because internet is slow.
Adisa, why your rectangular lines? They're not showing.
Yes, uh, I removed some because I wanted to
Your line is
actually
breaking.
show some. Hello,
Okay, I can hear
hello.
you now. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, I said I removed some from my tab because I actually wanted to show how I used to come about my own rectangular strategy, and I actually want to show how I came about the new smaller rectangular strategy I actually discovered. So that was why I removed some from my tab. But this is one. I think this is one of this is my rectangular. This one is on my tab currently. So, but my own is quite messy somehow. I don't know. So that was why I said I wanted to discard it. But I just want to go. I want to go over how I entered this trade, how I called this trade on the group also. So I I draw my rectangular strategy on 4 hours, but I normally take my trades on 15 minutes and 1 hour. So I went to 1 hour. Then I noticed that there's a pivot line which is acting as a very strong resistance here. So after I noticed that, there's another thing I used to check again that used to give me more confidence to enter a trade. That is pattern. Mama taught us pattern in our early days of our class. So I noticed that there's a big M here, a very obvious M, and the second leg just formed. So and one other thing, I I waited again for for a cross to happen. I'm always particular about this. I'll make sure that my that is my 5 EMA has crossed the red, the 13 EMA. So after I noticed that, there's another confirmation I used to use again. If I notice that price are forming under the 13 EMA. So immediately I noticed that maybe like two candles are formed under that they did not close above the the 13 AMA, it gives me more confirmation that okay, definitely this trade is going to go my way. And if you notice that throughout, price are not even coming close. There's a particular point that price is not even coming close to the red. So it's showing that the the bearish trend is very strong, very strong. So if you check here too, like this trend, this uptrend now, you notice that immediately price started forming above this red EMA. They never they never break it. The only time its price broke it was when the trend changed to a downtrend. So it is a very strong way to actually confirm a trend too. So another thing that I used to confirm this trade the more is that this blue that is the 50 EMA crossed both the 5 EMA and the 13 EMA, which is that signals that okay, 100% this is a very confirmed sell signal. And again, another thing happened again. Price broke the blue. The blue is a more stronger resistance or support than the red and the yellow EMA. So the blue broke the the price broke the blue EMA and it retested it and started coming down. Started coming down. So this is this is the time to enter the trade more. You add more positions. Immediately this happened. So and another thing here again that gives me more confidence that okay, this thing is going to sell the more is that price broke this too and came back to the test and that started selling. So what I'll be looking at when the markets actually happen, when the market opens, is probably maybe there'll be a little retracement going up again that will test this and to start coming down. But I'm not going to take the trade because Mama always tell us to take a break and retest of um, pivot line. So this market is still going to sell the more. So it's still going to sell the more. So basically, I've used I use rectangular strategy, but I've used other things to confirm my entry. I use rectangular strategy to enter a trade and to set my take profits, but actually use some other um, methods to confirm a trade. So and definitely it's very possible that when market opens, the trade is going to come very close to this 800 EMA, which is the strongest of all of them, because immediately price comes back to 800 EMA, a very strong trend always occur during that process. So the only time when the market opens, I'll be watchful of this EMA. So I'll make sure that I don't take trades. Sorry, I don't take trades that are close to. I don't take trades that when price gets very close to the EMA. I don't do that because it's not always advisable to go against the EMA because it's a uh, very strong and powerful indicator.
Okay, let
So
me add to what Adisa, can you shift your yes, good. Like
okay.
I want to believe that those yellow lines are your pivot lines, right?
Yes, yes, they are the inner.
Now, yeah, okay.
Yes,
So
they are the inner
presently,
one.
it's sitting on the support of a pivot level. You can see that, right?
Yes,
So I'm
ma.
expecting it to go up back
Up.
to 1.36185 to retest the neckline to support that M pattern you are seeing.
Yes, one.
Then break. If it doesn't break above it, then what comes down? It comes down.
Yes, to come
It's
back
coming
to
down
test
to
the line.
complete this M. Beautiful.
Yes, one.
So draw the line down. So that those are two things that are either going to happen. It breaks
Yes,
up there and come down. Yes, exactly.
yes, one.
Beautiful.
So,
That's what I see from this.
so basically,
So this is a beautiful trade setup for the week.
yes,
To wait
ma.
for price to break above. You can also buy it when market open because it's completely sitting, as in it broke, the candle broke above, it's closed above the pivot level. The next one closed above it. So, but if market open, there's going to be a spread. So if you enter, you're going to have a very big spread. But if you are buying it, you're not doing yourself wrong. You buy it to the next level you're seeing there, which is a neckline. You see how beautiful rectangle strategy is. It helps you to know where to take your profit and when to exit. So now you know that price is going to buy. Let's say, can you hide your chart? Go to the I button and hide your chart.
All right, ma.
Good.
Okay.
So imagine, just don't worry. So imagine you don't have rectangle strategy here. You might think some people will take a sell on this because they've seen that it's coming down. It's giving me a double top at the top and it's coming down. So let me take a sell. And by the time you take a sell on a small account, let's say you have a $50 account or you have a $100 account, and some people that might want to be greedy, they do 0.05 and it start going up. You might just do a little pullback of 50 pips or 60 pips, but your account can't take it because your account is small. That's why the beauty of rectangle strategy is that it helps you know where to enter your entry for your sell and your entry for your buy. Like some people now might look at this thing and they will choose to buy it to the top. For those who are just intraday traders, they don't want to go more, they don't want to take much pips. They can just buy it up. But you seeing the crossing, remember I told you that the movement on a 4-hour time frame is different from someone. You need to trade according to the time frame you need to use is according to the account you have, the account balance you have on your MT4. If you see this crossing on D1 and you decide to take a sell, just one candle that is doing a pullback can wipe off your account. So this now, from what I'm seeing here, price may likely go back up to retest the neckline of this M. That is why there's no rectangle strategy here. So you'll be wondering, maybe this is going to continue dropping. Why some people will wait for it to go. That's why you see some people, they do sell limit. They keep a sell limit. So please, can you put it back? Put the eyes back so we can see the line.
All right, ma.
So imagine you put a sell limit at 1.36100. Let's say you give it a little time to breathe to 100. Price goes above it, activates your account and start coming. Activate your price and start coming back down. Why somebody who took a sell here on a support level, an inner support level, won't see it, and the person will be on a big loss, but you'll be on the profits to come down to it. That's the beauty of rectangle strategy. All pivot lines, those pivot lines helps you determine what to do, when to wait, when to buy, when to sell, all this thing. Like if you take a buy, your stop loss will just be 1.35700. You can do it that way, 1.35700, maybe a little pips below this pivot level. If you choose to, you can say, okay, 1.35750 or 740, because it's up, is below, it's just above it. So if you choose to buy this thing when the market open, you're not making error in buying it, because it still fits into what, like I told you, it's 90 to 95% accurate. So there's a tendency for you to do what? Hit your what? Your stop loss. So imagine this M we are seeing here. Let's say on the second M, where you have the cross, the doji candle. The market, this doji candle broke his resistance, that blue line, 1.37008, and you waited for the next candle to what? To close. And you place your sell above that doji candle, and you decided to sell to the next level. You see your risk is very small as against the profit that you're going to get. That's the beauty of rectangle strategy. Is the beauty of rectangle strategy. So if you can practice it, you can check it, you can use the EMA crossing that I taught you. If you don't want to wait if you don't want to go to H4 to start waiting for all this, you can go to H5, M15, and see the crossing there and enter your market and leave the market. You can do it any way you choose. You feel like on Friday, that was when I noticed this inner rectangle that have other levels that you can as well take your profit and leave the market. So that's the beauty of rectangle strategy. And now he has actually combined it with EMA crossing. And this is a very, very, very beautiful insight that Adisa has actually shown us today. So you can continue. Thank you. I just needed to chip it in.
All right, ma. Okay, ma. All right, ma. So that's how they would dive successfully. So um, I've actually picked some peers to that I'll be looking at on Monday because it's showing a very a very very good signal that there's a current reversal of trend is going to happen very soon on those pairs. So hero card, my network is bad. I don't know. Okay, so I actually cleared my rectangular strategy from this particular pair because I actually wanted to draw from the beginning so that I'll be able to explain. So I'm going to use this pair to actually show you guys what me I discovered too. So about how to get smaller, how to get more pivot line on your chart. So I'm going to use this particular pair. But before I actually before I drew my I something that this pair has actually been selling for a very long time. It has been selling for a very long time, and I think a perfect M is forming. A W, I mean, is forming. Is forming, and most times happens to actually most times pattern happens when a very strong reverse trend is about to happen. So I'm always particular about patterns. Like very well. But basically I use um rectangular strategy, but I use patterns and EMA to confirm if um this pair is looking juicy. Let me put it that way. So I've noticed that there's a big fat M that is actually formed here. So there's there's a possibility of a very strong trend reversal happening around this area. So now, then if I've noticed that, then I will now go about drawing my rectangular strategy. So let me take off all this horizontal line. So let me go to my 4 hours, like Mama taught us that you're supposed to draw uh, um, rectangular strategy on 4 hours. But I did not know that on the onset because there was the time Mama actually posted on the group that me, I'm always, in fact, I don't know, I'm always following Mama back to back, low key. Immediately I see that Mama is talking about something, one time, I'm already doing my own research, even before Mama even start talking more on it. So Mama have talked about Mama talked about this rectangular strategy of a thing. Maybe that was like last year September, around that September period. She just said that okay, that there's this strategy that works 95% of time, and she said she's not going to teach us yet that we have to do it. I mean, I'm somebody that I don't used to keep calm. Immediately, I just went to YouTube. So I started seeing some jargons video, but I learned a little bit from those jargons video I learned then. But they did not really give me the do's and the don'ts. So then me, I was always drawing my own rectangular strategy on smaller time frame. I can just pick 15 minutes, draw a rectangular strategy, and I started noticing that the thing is not working for me. Like I was making loss. So just that do's and don'ts that Mama give is a lifesaver. So in fact, Mama's in fact, I don't know how to put it. Mama has really been an angel to me in this forest journey. Just imagine, just that small information that you're supposed to draw your rectangular strategy on 4 hours actually changed the whole thing because I actually totally discarded rectangular strategy that is not a good strategy because me, I was drawing it on smaller time frame and it was giving me loss, like every loss. So please don't try drawing rectangular strategy maybe on 1 hour or 15 minutes. Don't. I'm talking from experience. So now, like Mama taught us, you have to identify the trend. You identify the trend. So currently, what me I'm seeing, I stand to be corrected by Mama. So I'm saying, I think this is a trend. This is a trend, but it has broken. It has gone below um, this trend. So for this pair now, you will have to draw more than one box. You duplicate the box, so this is going to be a very long ride. we have to draw a lot of boxes. You
let,
guys
let
just
me cut you
stay
let
with
me
me.
cut you short here. I will prefer,
Okay, ma.
when you are drawing the inner rectangle, you have to use the
Yes, ma.
future trend, not the previous one. You understand? Now,
Okay,
if you want to draw the rectangle for this Euro card, the recent one is this long down bearish trend you're seeing here. So that's
okay,
a
ma.
bearish trend you're going to use. So what, for
All right, ma.
instance, that this previous one that you just drew here was in front, then you can now draw it to determine what's going to happen and all that. But from this is just the one you are going to use here is this recent
This trend,
bearish.
ma.
Yeah, that is what's.
Okay,
But I don't
ma.
trade all these crosses. If I want to trade any pair, it has to be a USD pair because they move faster. The currency is actually what goes. But you can use the strategy for any currency. But to me, I don't
Okay,
like all
ma.
this. Yeah. So Adisa, you
Um,
need to round up. So
okay.
mhm.
So, uh, let me just draw some part of the rectangular strategy I discovered in the lower part. So I'll just go quick. I'll go really fast now. Okay. So when I'm drawing, I first thing I do to make things very easy for me and to be able to spot that I draw my rectangular strategy correctly, I'll put an horizontal line. Okay, sorry. I'll put an horizontal line before this vertical line. So let me just change this out. So just know the top trend and then I'll put this as a guide so that when I'm drawing the what's it called, the trend lines, to not I will not to this is going to guide me not to go outside. So put this. I just use them as guide. Um, okay, let me zoom out. So, so um so now I've drawn. So this is how basically I start getting the other smaller boxes. But I want to zoom out so that I'll be able to get those points
Right
easily
click and
because
reset. Right click and reset.
okay,
I have a better view.
okay, ma. So now I'm going to look for the midpoint. If you notice that there's this midpoint, this intersection here and here. So I'm going to draw an horizontal line through those midpoints. So okay, okay, sorry. This did not come out well. So from there, like if with this horizontal line, the horizontal line actually divided this box into two parts. There's okay. Let me change this color to black so that the division will be very clear. The division of the box into four parts. So as you can see, if there's box one, sorry, this box one, two, three, and four. So now what I'll do, I want to pick four now because that's where price is currently at. So I'm going to pick box four. Then I'm going to put a smaller rectangular box inside of box four. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to draw an horizontal line from here. Oh, sorry. Let me adjust this back from
Trend line,
and
you mean?
the yes trend line. I'm going to draw it from here to here, no, to here, to here. Then pick on that trend line. Sorry, it's a real issue. Okay, so this one has been drawn already. If you notice, it has been drawn already. So from there, this has been drawn. This line, this one has been drawn already. So I don't need to bother myself with redrawing it. So now, if you look well, you will notice that this line has also been divided into another smaller boxes. Like this is 4A, 4A, and this is 4B. That has been divided into because this general midpoint has divided the line into two equal parts again. So now I will now draw another trend line from here. That one has been drawn already. Then I'll pick from here to here. So looking at this, it has given me another what's it called another pivot line here and yeah. And if you notice that price is actually respecting those areas because um, this price could close above that line. But because I was rushing, Mama, I think my time is almost up. So uh, it could have actually been on this because I noticed that I've actually not really adjusted some of the lines well. So, but you guys will be able to get something. Like you see now, this line I just discovered now, it's acting as a resistance already because price.
Well, I think his network took him out. So I'm sure everybody is understanding what Adisa was actually sharing on how to divide the box into different parts. Femi, can you make me host? So let me just do a recap on it for every other person. So I can share my screen and use one of the boxes to do an explanation. Thank you, Femi. So I believe what he was doing was trying to form a box inside the box. Let me try my own here. This is Euro USD. This is like I told you, if you draw a rectangular box, you don't need to keep drawing. You can see how price is respecting it, broke it, it's coming down here. So what he did was he picked a vertical line and placed it in between the intersection to divide the box into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then where price is currently now, which is this box, let me call here B, he decided to share it like this and like this to make it's almost the same thing that actually, I think you're in the spirit, Adisa, to see what I'm doing. So this one just divided here. That was what he did. This one already created from us here. This here. So he has divided this box into 4 parts and is working. This is a pivot level somewhere around here. Let me change the color. I think I'm getting what you are doing, right? I decide you are the one to answer this. Am I getting you? This is created a pivot level here. This one already created here. This. Type on the chat box if what you thought is what I'm doing. Okay, good. No, send it to the general group. Okay, so you can see the green level, the green line here that I just did. Price came here, came here and retested on the green line and broke out down. So you can take here, for those who want to do a re-entry, it's showing you a possible re-entry. Why did price break like this? You know, when they say there's a pullback for you to enter the market again, this thing that he just did will help you to know when to do what, re-enter the market. So when you see this pullback here and it closed below this pivot level, you enter a sell to the next one. If it breaks, you enter a sell to the next one. So I'm really impressed with what you've done with this rectangle strategy, dividing it into 4 equal parts and creating your rectangle from it. It's really, really impressive. I'm sure other people can add it if you don't fully see it as it's complicated, but it's something you can actually add to your own and you do something good with it. What I know is that all those lines you are seeing there will help you. Just drawing only one box, what you need is just these pivot levels. By the time you get them, it's easy for you to determine what's going to happen in the future from your trading. Thank you very much, Kunzi. I'm sure if there's any question, you can type it. Let's give a few minutes for question so we can call this a night. If there's any question from what I've said and from what Kunzi has said, type it on the chat box so we can do justice to it. Because as soon as it's can do justice to all that. Please, Ma, can you do a little recap on the smaller rectangles you drew? Oh, okay. Have you joined any of our rectangle? Do you know how to do the rectangle? Let me ask you first. Do you know how to draw your big rectangle? Yes, I do. Okay, the same way, let me use this one I just did here. Let me delete this. I'll delete this. Okay, now I'm left with this original one, right? Now, let me delete this. Now, this is the main rectangle from here up to, this is the first impulse move from this place here up to this place. Now, another impulse move you can use to determine what is going to happen. You can use this one here from here to this place. Let me see this. So if you draw your trend line from here up to here, I need to change this Let me change it. I'm just showing her. Now this is not even showing me a better rectangle because it's almost on the, I can't use this one because it's on the same level with this place. So even if price happens, it's not going to show me any future stuff. Let me look for, okay. Let me see if, all right, beautiful. Now this is a larger impulse here to this place. Now you can create another one using this place to this place. I'm sure you can see that V. So in between this, I'm just rushing because we've taken so much time on, we've taken so much time here. Have you seen how I'm doing it with this little rectangle here? It's just to look for an impulse, look for a bigger impulse on this, a smaller impulse from the bigger impulse, and draw a rectangle so you can know how to do what? Enter your trade and exit inside there. That's just what this one is all about. You can see. But if I want to do the big one, let me change this to black. My pivot levels will be so different. My pivot levels. Just give me a few seconds to draw this for the benefit of those. Let me change this to black as well. V, do you understand what I'm doing, right? I'm just trying to show you how you will see different levels here. Remember the first one I did is for the smaller level. Let me put the ceiling and this for the support level, this for the resistance level. Now in between those ones, you see the black is for the bigger one. You can see it here. So now if I want to take, if that I had this bigger rectangle and the price is falling from this ceiling, from this resistance line, you know my TP initially, for what I thought, your TP will be this one, this level here. That is 1.133, 1.131169. But now that you've seen this inner rectangle here, you can take your TP from 1.344. This can be your TP1. This can be your TP2. This can be your TP3. So if you enter this trade, your stop loss will be something above this. Then your take profit will be here. So you will see that what's going to happen if this trade can decide to do like this. Let me show you something now with this drawing. This is GBP USD. Price can decide to drop like this and bounce what back up here. So for instance, you enter this trade and you're expecting it to drop down here, but it didn't drop because this is the next pivot level on the bigger rectangle. But price came like this and turned, or price did something like this on this second place and turned back up, or price came down on this third place it will come back here and did what? Turn back up. You will now ask yourself, why is price bouncing up from these places? For instance, you don't have these green levels here. Let me change this color. This green is so light. Let me change it to red. For instance, price just moved away from there, and you'll be asking yourself, why did price move from there? I don't seem to know why price is reacting to that place. You won't know that there's actually levels in that area. So this thing can happen. You see that price will bounce off from here, go here, bounce off from here and go here. So it will help you if you're entering a sell here, your take profits will hit faster and you make your money and you leave the market. Instead of waiting long, and by the time you put your stop profit of 50, price will go back. Something you must have seen $10 or $100 because you secured your profits for 10, maybe 10 pips. Price will leave $100 that you've seen and it will now hit you on $10. You know, that thing can be very painful. So with this inner rectangle in the major rectangle, you can take your full profit with a small risk and you leave the market. I'm sure you understand that, V. Okay, you're understanding now. Beautiful. Beautiful. So that is why when I saw the secret, I was like, wow, I'm going to share this so people can actually take advantage of this magic and do justice to their trading. So if you can master this, trust me, your losses will be very, very easy. Just for you to, that's why I said, always practice on your demo, build your confidence, test it on your demo account. Treat your demo account like you're treating your live account. Not you trade anyhow your demo account. You're going to do the same thing on your live account. So the way you are treating your demo account, that's the same way you're going to treat your live account. So imagine you entered a sell on this account and you took your take profit here. Why somebody's waiting for this based on the strategy, which is not wrong. But before market will come here, you must have gone out of the market. When it closed below, you enter here, take profit again, take another profit from here before you get here. You go in and out of the market with ease. Why somebody else is waiting for it to get down there? I'm sure we understand that. Any other question? If there's no other question, we can call it a night. I think we've done we did it. Thank you very much. Yeah, V, thank you. You're welcome. Stanley, I think it's your network that is making your trading view to hang. Is your network. Also, for those who patiently waited behind, Michael said I should add him to the group. Who actually gave you the link? Tell the person that gave you the link to this meeting to get back to me, okay? So in absence to any other question, we have to call this a night.